Welcome to DreamWeaver and Chill, and thanks for chilling with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself, because you're kind of famous lately. I mean, you were famous before, but you have, and I'm not even playing the game, and I've heard your name quite a few times lately.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a reputation, you could say. I've always been kind of a known... Oh, sorry, I'm SolidShadow, by the way. I've been playing since, I think I picked it up around Thanksgiving or so, 2019. So I'm not like a super OG player, but I've been around for a while. And yeah, I've always been kind of this known scoundrel.
I can verify that.
Yeah, no, it's always been my kind of style of gameplay, pirating, being a scoundrel, kind of poking people. I've got all kinds of antics.
I've always been on my best behavior on this game. Like, I've never done anything wrong that I will admit to.
I feel like I've been on decent behavior. It's been on and off. But sometimes, I just get in a little mood. I just want to mess with people that I may not necessarily like, or they don't like me, and I find it fun.
Well, you started in 2019, so you started... Wow, you started when that was during my heyday. The end of 2019, I was so active and I took this game so seriously to probably an unhealthy level.
I was kind of like that, but I was also, that's when I started, so I didn't really know anything that was going on. I didn't know very many people.
Yeah, 2019 was a weird time. I probably quit during that time too, right around when Tal died. So you never even got to experience the original Tal as a player, Tal Parkson.
Oh, no. I am now, though, and he's great.
Yeah, it's not him. That's his brother, unfortunately.
Okay.
Tal passed away about that time, and his brother, Ronan, took over the account. So you missed out. I truly believe that you missed out on a legendary player. I'm telling you, man, we were rocking and rolling, pissing people off, making fun of everybody during that time. And it was the best time of the game, I think.
I have to agree. I don't think I was too active in GC at the time, but I want to say Rage was it was a big deal around that time.
Yeah, Rage was, so when, I guess, IMDY or MD kind of died, and people EMC emerged from it, I think a lot of people with like Pickle and Mistress... And at the time, Tal went over to Rage, and that's the alliance that he left us in. So yeah, man, that's you were there, you were around.
I didn't know anything that was going on with all that. I just saw people popping off, getting mad at each other in GC, and I was like, yeah, I'll mess with these little like 14s that I can fight with.
14, man. I was 14 for a while, but we were all 14. I remember when I was 14, I think G&M was maybe like a 19 or something. Like back in the day, like when, it was harder to move up the ladder back then. You remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. 19 was definitely, that was my favorite time. The North Star combat. I don't know, was that as prevalent?
Yeah.
When you were 19?
Yeah, the North Star, either the North Star, you got it when you were 20 maybe? Was it 19 or 20 level?
I think it was even like 18 or something.
Maybe, I don't remember. I know I was a minor warrior, so I would hit people with envoys, and when I got that North Star, man, I was killing little baby jellies like crazy. I hated those things.
Oh, it was a game changer. That was probably the best $20 I've ever spent in my life.
Well, what alliance were you in back then? Do you remember?
I started, so I think it was GLE, and then it changed to DLE soon after I joined. It was like Dark Lake Empire or something. It was part of that big LVE family, so they had like DLE. I think they merged with OLE, and that's when it became DLE. So they had those two: Kill, LVE, Mars, Eris, and somebody else I'm forgetting. But yeah, I was part of that big family back then.
Wow, I was part of the GOT club, which might have died out by that time. I think it had passed before you started playing.
Oh, okay.
We had 5. Back in the day, like, bigger than EMC, GOT, there were 5 different GOTs. There was, like, the main GOT.
Oh, wow.
There was, like, the second one, I think, became ZFG later. There was, Shady and his crew. KH, they were in it.
I love those guys.
Yeah, there were a lot of different. There were 5. There was a ton of people. And they all split up. We fell apart, and like Vulcan and Anubis, we used to be very close teammates back in GOT. Back in the day.
That's where Sarge came from, right?
Yeah, Sarge was there too. Sarge ended up being the admiral for a little while. Odin was our admiral, and he was in a terrible motorcycle accident. He had headaches, so he could not play the game anymore. And I've been a mess ever since. So
yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I've had some good friends in game that have had stuff like that happen. It's weird that just people through a video game you can care so much about, even if you've never met them in person. That's one of my favorite things about this game.
And that's kind of why I do this, because we may not meet everybody, but we can at least get to know each other a little better.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to hear certain meows every once in a while, because I have a spoiled cat that that I rescued a couple of years ago, and he's like, if he's not on my lap when I get home, he's upset. He's very upset right now.
Oh, no worries. I totally get that.
Yeah,
love cats, man.
I've trained him like a dog. He fetches. He hits.
No way.
He's basically, I have 2 cats that can fetch. And so I might be like a cat whisperer or something. But all you have to do is get something that they really like, a little toy, or he likes little puffy things that, like foil kind of things. I have the other cat likes these all natural, it's like rabbit skin with feathers glued to it, basically.
Oh, okay.
She goes crazy because it's real. It's like a real little animal. I'll throw it anywhere. She'll bring it to me, drop it beside me. It's awesome.
Like she's bringing you a present or something?
Yeah, she's telling me, hey man, you're a sucky hunter is what it turns out it means. You suck, Dad. Let's get some mice or something.
Once I move apartments in a couple weeks here, I think I'm finally going to have a cat again. So that'll be fun.
I mean, people may not like this, but I never had a cat until I got married, and my wife had cats when she was growing up. So she's like, we need to get a cat. And I was like, I don't like cats. We have a dog, and cats are better than dogs. I'm sorry, everybody that's a dog person, but I have dogs. I have 2 dogs, but the cats are smarter. You can leave them alone. They won't die if you leave them overnight like the dogs will.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I grew up with cats and dogs all my life, and I always love cats more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love dogs, but yeah. Yeah,
it's just a different style. I prefer a laid back animal.
Yeah, to walk it or do anything special, just let it do its thing and let it do take care of it.
Well, let's jump into these questions, because I need to know what's going on in your mind.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
So what is your personal code of ethics in the game?
I think a lot of people say this in the interview, but it's definitely what I follow, is just treat others how you want to be treated. I respect people who respect me and, my friends, people in my alliance. And if they don't, then that's the kind of person I like to mess with a lot of the time.
So you're a golden rule player, probably.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That doesn't always work with everybody. I wish more people did that.
Yeah, it's nice and simple. I don't know why people can't just go along with that.
So you do cause some trouble. I know that. That's like I said, your name has been popping up above the radar recently, and some maybe certain. You believe in row, may not be the same row that other people believe in, but you have a row that you use.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I've liked the idea of row, but I want it to be as unrestricted as you can without it just being pure anarchy. I believe that PvP is a fundamental aspect of the game, and Scopely doesn't do very much to encourage it, besides incursions whenever they're working. So we just gotta do it on our own.
Yeah, I like it on a level playing field, little more level of a playing field, I should say. I was a 41, and that means a level 60 can hit me. And that's crazy.
I might be weird because I love that, honestly.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I always run around and hit Ska when he was, moving up the 50s just for fun because it's a mosquito.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know if I go, I love just having the ability to go, I can throw my reel at some level 60 player and piss them off just by doing that, and it costs me nothing.
There's a lot of them now. Like, they're everywhere.
I think we have, 5.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got Damien, Ska, GNN, and a couple other EMC guys I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah, I ask for screenshots from people sometimes, and I let me see the leaderboards, and it looks like Ska. It looks like he's basically retired. I don't see him on top of any lists. He's dropping. So I don't know what's going on, man. I think maybe he's done too.
Which is sad to see, because honestly, I haven't really I'm not super familiar with the guy, but the few interactions I've had, he seems like a pretty chill, down-to-earth guy. He's got a great sense of humor. But, I came back to the game at a bad time, because I think it was right around the time he started playing.
Well, there is a video called Bro versus Bro, and it's me and Ska. You might check that out. It's like an hour of us just making fun of everybody and other servers and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go check that out after.
In your PvP, do you ever get any good hate mail?
Oh, absolutely. It's something I've got ever since I started the game, I think. Ever since I could start hitting people. It's one of my favorite things to try getting.
So what's your favorite?
I've got a couple, honestly. There's this guy in, I think he's in Fear right now. He's called Razor RW. And he's got this thing where I think it's, if anybody hits him, he'll PM them something like, "Run, coward, you're a coward, come back," and then immediately blocks you so you can't reply. I just think it's the funniest thing ever. So I'll try to, as soon as I see that PM, I try to go on and say something snarky back to him, but he blocks me and I can't do it.
That's like the most passive-aggressive thing ever.
Right?
I mean, I guarantee...
for 2 years or something.
I can guarantee you that dude pees sitting down. I guarantee it. Every time. Even he's like, I gotta hurry, and he just does it.
You might be onto something.
Yeah. I've
got that, and then there's this person, I don't think she plays anymore, but it was this girl from EMC. It was back when the Saladin was my number one ship. I was using that for everything. It was back when I was in EXC and I was at war with EMC. And I killed one of her ships with my Saladin, and she said something like, "Scrapped my Saladin yesterday, plus you're fat," and blocked me.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought it's the funniest DM I've ever seen to this day. I love it.
Wow.
I think it's Red Vanessa.
Oh, I don't know her. It sounds familiar, but I
think that was the only interaction I ever had.
They have a lot of people in those two alliances.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little familiar with them.
So that being said, speaking of EMC, row is a thing. Rules of engagement. What are your rules of engagement?
So my rules of engagement, and this is kind of something that I've liked since I started playing and I got into an alliance, is basically just OPC is OPC. So if you're over protected cargo, I don't mind being hit, and I don't mind hitting you. If it's zeros, I'll clear zeros for now and then. Warships are fair game. And, I'm a big-time raider, too, so shield or share force.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, raise those shields. If you don't want it, raise them. One time I got really pissed off at a guy, and I don't remember who it is, but I was coming into my home system. You know, I had sent my miner home, and it was fat, you know. It had a lot on it. And the guy hits my ship as it's going to my base.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do, man.
And I was like, oh, you son of a gun. It was probably you. If you've been doing that for a while.
It might have been. No, I understand stuff like that is it's kind of dickish and generally frowned upon, so I save it for crosshairs. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. Like I'll sit there and watch token systems like the acting hostiles wait for somebody to fill up cargo. Instead of using my own token to go hit them, I'll just go park next to their base and wait for it to come home.
You know, when I was in GOT and we took in like some unloved players, an EMC declared war on us and said, hey, you know, everybody in that alliance has to die because you have, I don't know who it was. Who knows at that point?
I've been there before.
And they'd be chasing me. And, you know, one of these guys had a really, I think it was Jackson of Arutha or whatever. I call him Baby Ruth. And he was cloaked by my base. So my ships are all coming back. I saw he was going to get my miner, and I, you know, sent him back. And dang it, he was sitting right there and got me. And I thought, wow, that's pretty good strategy. But the cloak
might actually be the reason that I'm like super vigilant about, or like super careful about bringing my miners home when I know somebody knows where my station's at. So I think he's done that exact same thing to me. That's his tactic. And it's great. You know, I salute him for that. He's you know, very persistent. I mean, I think I threw like 400 little baby ships, Rialtas, and whatever the little small miner is once, because he was, you know, hitting my base. So he sat outside my base, so I just threw ships at him for like 45 minutes. And then he stopped hitting me. I had ships all around him. He stopped hitting me, and I declared it a win. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I shielded and jumped. I've probably done that a bit much. I've completely tanked my KD just by spamming GNN or Jackson with Rialtas and stuff when they've got their big G5 ships next to my base. Yeah, GNN would rarely hit me. I think it was like he's too good to hit me or something, or he's gonna get Dreamweaver cooties or something. I don't know. Which is, I'm not complaining, you know. But I think he's gotten to the point where he'll come and, you know, if somebody gives him the location of my base, he'll come and hit me once, and then I can stay there unshielded, and he'll never come back because he knows that I like it. I do that. I don't know if you've heard of like the bold defense. I'm not familiar with it because this is a new thing. I've been out. Yeah, so it's a thing that I've been doing for maybe over a year now. Just parking, you know, really tiny ships like baby jellyfish and Rialtas, tourists, stuff like that on my station, and just get them set up with the right crews. So even if this giant G5 ship comes and hits my base, there's a good chance that it'll bounce and I can repair before they get an amalgam hit or something on me. So they've started catching on to that, or at least GNN does. So he'll crack my base, work away, and he won't even try. Yeah, when they come in with a ship that's 160 million, and my base is like in the 40 millions maybe, or 30 millions, and it's like, that's just a joke. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, if you're not set up for it, they can totally wipe out your base and hardly get scratched. It's nuts. Well, if there was something you wanted to change about Row, would you do it, or what would you change if you could? Honestly, if I could, I would make the. I guess I actually have been encouraging the server Row to change to the Row that I have for my alliance. And what alliance? What are you in right now? Are you in like a small killer alliance, or are you in a big alliance? Yeah, so I'm in. It's called Repo. That's the tag, and then the alliance is called the Cleaning Crew. Okay. And it's kind of a hunt like alliance. There's just a few of us in here right now. And we're pretty laid back. We don't care too much about like the alliance events. We just play how we want, when we want, and just stick to our ROE.
You know, I was thinking about, I don't know why, I don't play the game anymore, but I think about it a lot because of these interviews, and I was thinking, you know, what would be a great tag would be 9, which would be NYNE, and there'd only be 9 players, and it would be like a hunt, and but it would be like super powerful players, or, 40s, that's good enough to cause havoc.
Yeah, that's about where we're at.
Have some, maybe a 50 or something. Have a strong person, but just 9 players, like kind of like Hunt. I mean, they don't ever get huge. They don't get big.
Yeah, no. I took a lot of inspiration from them as far as my idea for this alliance going forward. I really like those guys.
They are. I was there when they were born.
Really?
I was our little pirate crew. We were ARG, AARG or something like that. And before Hunt formed, they were part of Snag. And
okay, I think Odes told me about that.
Yeah, and Snag split apart. My little team joined Snag, and we were like, dude, we're out. They were like in a war that should have not been a war, so we left. They were with the, I guess Pizza would be who it was, the Z Coalition, those guys.
Oh, okay.
Ant and that, yeah. So, yeah, and we almost joined them, but I guess we took too long negotiating, and so they AK hit my miners, and I was like, nah, I wasn't even the admiral at the time. I think Emmett was the admiral, but yeah, we were like, you know what, that's out, that's done, and they kind of went from there, and we've been kind of not adversaries, but I always remember that.
Yeah, I've had my fights with them now and then. I think pretty much every alliance I've been in doesn't really like them, but I've always had a good relationship with the guys themselves. You
got to respect their style, as they do what they want. You never see them hit an MC. Okay, so I never see them do that, and I wish they would have. They won't ever, for whatever reason. A lot of people have some conspiracy theories about that, but he's not really around anymore, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, they never hit those guys, and I wish they would have caused some trouble there.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's your job now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad to take up that mantle.
Now, I did hear a little rumor about Territory Space.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about Territory Space recently.
It was me, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Malcolm Reynolds from ZFG.
Oh, please tell him I said hi, and for him to EAD, okay?
Oh, okay. I'll tell him that.
We're buds. We're buds.
For it.
We go way back.
Yeah, no, I love that guy. I knew him first as Protectron when he was in Ink way back.
He's a pervert, man. He's he's like the biggest pervert I've known.
I haven't seen that side of him yet.
Yeah. He's a perv, man.
I know it's just a couple dudes in our alliance, but so me and him, we also have a third guy in our alliance. I'm not going to say who he was before because he's still keeping that private for now.
So you have 3 players right now?
Yeah, we have 3 active, and then we have like my level 14 alt that's just kind of like if I need to leave the alliance or something, I'll just put that at the admiral for a second. And then we've technically got ZZ as well.
Oh yeah, that'll get you a crosshair. That was who joined us and got us crosshairs. You reminded me. Thank you. That was who we joined, and Sarge was going to give him a home because nobody else would.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And he thought that being friends with GNN and a founding member of EMC would protect us. Guess what? It didn't.
We got our crosshairs probably within maybe 5 minutes of creating repo. And then a few weeks later, I told ZZ, I was like, it'd be a really funny idea if he just hopped into our alliance and just like uninstalled the game. And that's exactly what he did.
Oh, that's funny. I've deleted it, so I don't know if I could come back. I don't know. I've been told that if I do come back, because I've spent thousands, I guess, they've saved my account somehow, but I'm not doing it.
So it's probably just like archived somewhere for...
Yeah, I'll make an alt. If I want to come back, I'll just make a little alt to say hi to everybody.
Just log into your Pronger alt.
Yeah. Have you seen Pronger lately?
No, oddly enough, I think he quit around the same time you did. It's a little suspicious.
So weird. So weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this territory stuff, it was me and Mal, and then we were the only like ones that were really active, and our third guy was just kind of sending ships down then. But yeah, we just thought, we've got enough of the resources that you need to start like one territory capture. So we tried it on Revo, and two of us just kind of soloed that TC, and we took it over.
Two of you took the territory.
Yeah.
Hey, like that's
fair.
It's got to be a record.
They didn't show up like. I think so. I know I've struggled with like full alliances to take TC before, so it was kind of a shock when we did it. But yeah, they didn't really show up for the first like 20 minutes or so. The last 10 got pretty intense because some of their allies started showing up with like level 50 plus players and clear nodes for them, and it came down to the wire, and we just barely managed to take it.
So when is the battle to win it back, or for you to hold it?
It's Wednesday morning. Yeah, I think it's Wednesday morning.
You be ready.
Oh yeah, no, I've got some people I'm talking to, seeing if they want to try taking it, because I don't think I can defend it with two people. But
no, that's awesome. Congrats, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's going to be a nice little week of particles and some ISO mining, but I think that's all I'm going to get.
Wow, so
I didn't even have enough to activate all the buffs.
That's you had just enough to do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're with Mal. That's awesome. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, Sam.
He thinks I'm evil, I think, but he's right.
I'll have to ask him about that, because I didn't know that you guys had a relationship of some sort.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'd love to interview him.
Oh, let him know.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, when he was Protectron, and I was like, what? So, yeah, he likes other video games, too, apparently, obviously.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, I think I was probably the only person who recognized that Protectron name. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I knew it was him. He knows that too. He wonders why or how.
He came into Repo with some random name, and the MC knew who he was like instantly.
They have such a great spy network. So for them, it's very ironic for EMC. And I just interviewed an EMC guy, and it was great. A nice guy. Very, very enjoyable interview. But they are so involved in secrecy and spies that when you talk to them, it's just kind of like, come on, man, seriously? Because they're like, we don't do that, and we just like our row, and we never do this. And every person I talk to says Vulcan is not violent. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. They keep saying it. I like Vulcan. He's a very polarizing figure in the game. And I respect his subtlety. He uses his words very carefully.
Definitely, yeah.
Like he should. I mean, he's been trained to do that. But he's good at what he does. He can get people upset and then pretend to be innocent. Like, what? What? You touched me. I didn't touch you. That kind of stuff.
That's probably why he's my favorite person to shit talk.
Oh, he's just, he's intelligent too. So it's like, he doesn't say your mom, That's a Pronger thing.
I'll do that too.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Admittedly, I try to use I try to kind of use like a witty shit talk when I can, but then sometimes I'm maybe just to do your mom stuff, because I mean I'm a kid that grew up on like Black Ops 2 lobbies, and that was a little like that was the most toxic game I've ever played probably.
So, do you have a favorite alliance other than your own? Repo seems cool, but other than that, what do you have a favorite?
I'd say to make things interesting, I'll also exclude alliances. Like the main alliances I've been in, so like Inc, EXE, all those. So aside from them, I think my favorite alliance is definitely Dread.
Dread, yeah. Dread is have they kind of absorbed KH now? Are they kind of...
I think they completely merged last summer or so.
Yeah. I was in KH when they had KH2 and KH3 was starting, and I was like, I'm going to make KH8. Stuff like that. It was, I was there for a while. I liked Shady. Well, that's your favorite, but here comes the hard one. I was like, what is your least favorite alliance? And maybe why?
I think this is an easy one for me.
Who is it? Is it an easy one? Oh, let's hear it. What is it?
Oh yeah, it's probably LVE.
LVE.
I mean, yeah, I've had quite a history with them.
From starting with them, kind of, right? That's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah, well, I never was actually in LVE. I was just a part of that big family that I kind of joined, and we were a big conglomerate. But yeah, no, I liked some of those guys back then, and then I think I quit around like March of 2020, and I came back, and it was like I came back 2021, like in September or so, and it was just like a totally different alliance. It felt like, and when I came back, I joined. What was it? It was BXL, I think. It used to be Wicked.
I remember.
But, shortly after I came back, we got into war with LVE, and yeah, there's a little bit of drama there.
You know, I interviewed Iron Man, and he's like their chief negotiator, and the guy's tough.
Yep.
So I can see why they get into wars a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of the root cause of a lot of those.
And who's the other top guy? Who's the admiral? I think it's like
Shogun.
Shogun. Yeah. That's a cool guy.
Oh yeah, I like Shogun.
Everybody I've talked to has said great. Yeah, Shogun's great.
Yeah, I really liked Shogun, and then it used to be John Sable, and he was a really cool guy too. I really liked those, and that was about it of their leadership that I liked.
Yeah, they had a big coalition. They probably still do, but for a while.
Yeah, it's shrunk a bit because when I was in Inc., we actually went to war with them, and that lasted maybe like 4 months or something crazy, maybe even 5 months. And yeah, it's shrank quite a bit.
So what's Inc. like? I've never been in it. I know that Damien's the admiral, and it's basically like anti-EMC from the outside, but what's it like being in there?
Being in there, it's honestly, I mean, it really does live up to the name of Misfits. That's kind of everybody there is kind of really lives up to that creed. But no, it's a super chill alliance. Maybe not everybody really likes or agrees with each other all the time, but you know, we, at least when I was there, you know, we put that stuff aside and we just kept playing and having fun. But at the end of the day, it's just about playing a game.
I mean, they're super strong, you know. That's.
We love to fight.
Seems like you have to really fight to get stronger. I think that it's a combination of you start fighting and you're like, man, I'm not strong enough, so I have to get stronger. And you do.
Yeah, whether it's like competing really hard in events or for other people it's spending because they want to be stronger. I hear all the time that you don't want to have like a less restrictive ROE because people will fight and it hinders growth, but I think it actually does, like you said, it helps people grow.
Well, PvP for sure. And like, it puts you in situations where you're like, wow, I need to figure out how to get better. And these officers didn't work. And that's what's good about incursions and territories is, boy, you can hit anybody and you can see who hit you and check and really study those battles and those other ships and get better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to get in trouble a little bit because I'd go to somebody's territory that's, you know, there wasn't really even a fight there, but everybody's got their ships all out, so I'd just go with my warship and test crews on them. But they didn't take very kindly to that. I
used to do a lot of screenshots of crews. Like, I got rid of, I think I found a few the other day, but I probably had around 11,000 screenshots concerning this game.
That makes me kind of nervous to see how many I have because I take a lot of screenshots. I got rid of most of them. I find a few in my favorites in my phone. I'm like, oh man, I should get rid of that. But you know, it's there for a reason. It'd be like incriminating comments about somebody, and I'm like, I can't get rid of that. I got to keep that. That's exactly. That's like I've got my favorites. It's all just PMs and stuff or stuff from GC that I like to keep in there.
Yeah, it's a Discord stuff, and it's fun. It's not fun enough for me to keep playing it. But there are times where it's like, wow, this is so cool. But I'm retired.
Yeah. That's honestly why I started I created Repo too, is because I was not having fun with the lack of PvP and stuff. But bringing that back has got me interested in the game again.
Well, someone told me that there was a DreamWeaver alt the other day, and I was like, wow, I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, I think we had somebody, they popped up in GC. I didn't catch much of it, but they were saying that, they were DreamWeaver, and they'd come back to see how the server was doing.
Yeah.
I think after seeing that, I was like, that's not DW, but I wonder if we're going to do that interview, and that's when Amber hit me up.
I saw some screenshots of, is this you? And I'm like, no, it's not me, but that's fine. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think he was like in the 30s or something. I was like, that's definitely not.
Yeah, I'll be like a level 3 or something, I think. Whatever it takes to get on Galaxy Chat. I don't know.
Oh, maybe it was Pronger. So you did the Pronger whole thing a while back. Maybe he's come back to get his revenge on you.
Pronger, it's funny. I know who Pronger is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I've narrowed it down. I thought, and I narrowed it down by using their words against them and watching when they actually would comment, and they really hated me, so it's like, oh man, that's probably so-and-so. And then it turned out it wasn't, but I'll never tell. But everybody thinks it's me, so that's cool. That's good enough.
So you can send me a PM off call.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll be surprised, be like, really? But he knows, and when I got too close, he shut up. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I actually got very early on, when I first came back to the game and I met him, I got kind of a peek behind the persona of Pronger, and he seemed like a kind of chill dude. But after that, he kept going with the whole Pronger thing, and nobody likes him anymore. The
one thing that you don't do is hit people at a memorial.
Oh yeah, and he came back recently to do that, it was kind of messed up.
Like right before I quit, he hit me at a memorial. He hit someone else too, and then was like, oh, he loved to do that. That was kind of how I figured it out too. It was, well, I don't want to give too much away, but it was, he's very, very,
You got me thinking now.
yeah. But I got you. What's the most fun for you in the game? I mean, PvP sounds like.
Considering PvP, it's either got to be, it would be incursions, except we haven't had one since the beginning of November. So besides that, it's probably raiding. Because I'm the top raider on the server. If you don't count the guys who take turns hitting Scott a few times.
You gotta win somehow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just be the top and not win all the events.
Yeah, I was kind of a jerk to him about that, because it was last summer when I started really getting on the grind for trying to climb my leaderboard, and then all of a sudden they started hitting Scott and got way up there, and I was like, I can't catch up, but I can be right behind him. So I'm happy with that.
Well, do you remember Emoji Dave? Were you around for him?
No, I didn't. Actually, I totally missed out on him, unfortunately.
So he
sounds like a fun guy.
So Emoji Dave he never talked. He had an alliance with a bunch of non-playing characters on it. They were just there. And he would run tons of armadas. He would hit your ships when they were OPC. Everybody was like, oh, he must be some kind of a dev or something. But I think it was Slang who finally cracked him. Slang and a couple other guys, but back in the Fury days. And they cracked him, and everybody most people got a piece of him. And it was it was like a server-wide raid. Super cool.
I wish we had like that.
And then he went away. He disappeared. So maybe we were right.
That's probably what's going to happen if I ever get raided again. That's been a very long time.
Excuse me.
But I think my reputation now, I probably get the whole server hit my base.
I think you're going to be KOS either for a long time or forever.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have me KOS, but right now, it's the ones I know of are probably just EMC.
Well, you'll have EMC.
LV probably does.
You'll probably have Raid in there too. And they're not Raid anymore. What are they? They're Fear. You'll probably have Fear. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually did right after EMC marked me KOS, Fear marked me too. And we were kind of hitting each other for a while, but then Solar started talking to me, and he's like, we can put up with your anti-server ROE thing, and we just kind of settled it there and took our crosshairs off. Solar
is a fair guy.
Yeah, he gets a bad rap, I think. for the most part, I've had a good experience talking to him.
Well, a lot of people think that Fear is like a EMC lackey or whatever, but it's just an ally.
Yeah.
Like Pizza was an ally. Was it Pizza? Am I wrong? Pizza?
Yeah, it's Pizza.
Pizza. Yeah. Pizza's they're just like, hey, we're allies. And that's cool.
I'm sure there's some stuff that comes along with that isn't really in the public eye. But yeah, they're I'd say they're more allies than lackeys.
Well, you heard about Rev Deuce put a question up about something he wants to present to the devs and the dev team is to put a marker that shows what your standing is with another alliance. I don't think it'll ever go through because that's too open. Like,
to make it so like other people can see your alliance's diplomacy.
Yeah. So you'd know, like, oh, it'll never happen because the big spenders are who would be hurt the most with. Although they don't care, they would say we don't care. But I've heard people complain about things that they've said they don't care about, and I can see people being mad about that. Back when we had different community managers, I had a much better relationship with them, like Panic. But now it's they're true company people. So
yeah, I'm glad you got back in there because she was a player turned community manager, which I think is that's the most ideal community manager you can have.
Oh, you said Beck?
Yeah.
Yeah, good person, really nice. She likes plants.
Oh yeah, very much.
I did a parody of her. Dick likes cats. So she did not.
I was thinking you're going to the Becco thing.
Oh no, there was the Becco thing. Yeah, but I did a whole video on her. It's called Dick Likes Cats, and it's basically it's about her, and she did not approve because she was unaware that was part of her initiation into the content creator world. So.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go look that one up after.
I'll send you some links. I'll send you some. Required reading of Dreamweaver.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be helpful because I think most of your content I've seen is just the interviews with other players. Yeah,
a lot of my stuff is so stupid. I mean, I know it while I'm recording it, but some things, like I want to, like Stranger Things. I don't know if you're familiar with that show.
Yeah.
So I watch Stranger Things, and I really like it, and I really like cinematography and special effects, and how can I do that? How do they do that? Well, obviously it's all green screen or CGI, and so I use a lot of green screen, but like when Max was floating up, like she was, Vecna was going to kill her, and she's floating up in the cemetery, just trying to do that on my own with my limited budget. And it's like, this is so stupid. It's so ridiculous, and I love it. It's like old Doctor Who, before Star Wars, before CGI, all this stuff. Like a plastic bag could be a monster, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, like the old like Godzilla and all that. Yeah, the actual things they had to physically make and record. A little city for him to step on, things like that. I love that stuff, but that's basically why I do. Any videos other than interviews. But I know the answer to this. I ask this question every time, and everybody says the same thing for the most part. I think one person said something else. But what keeps you logging in every day? Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with what everybody else says. I'm gonna have to say the people. But it's the people I like and the people I dislike. The people I like, just kind of hang out, shoot the shit with them, and have a good time. It's a nice community to have. And then there's also the people I dislike that I can go and I can poke at them and do PvP, and that's what keeps me interested in the game. Because I was about the same time you quit. I was about ready to quit the game and figured, if I can just if I can make some enemies, I think I can get back into the game, have some fun.
Boy, I made a lot of enemies back in the day.
I've had a lot here and there, even since I was level 14. Some of them I've made up with afterwards, and some of them are kind of lifelong enemies, I think.
At one point, Sam was supposed to be a lifelong 14. He was 14 for so long, and then he decided to.
Sam, like the Stockholm mining Sam.
Yeah. He was like a little baby guy, and then he grew and grew and grew, and he decided he was going to be like the largest person. And then somehow he got crossed with the wrong people. Same people that most people get in trouble with, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I've been seeing about a lot of that. We're kind of friends. Like we're friends to the point where I won't hit his ships, but if that shield ever drops, you know, I'm raiding him for all of his trillions of resources.
Oh yeah, I hit him. You know, I hit him when I was around. Just I wouldn't hit Hunt for some, you know, probably for self-preservation, but for the most part, I never really. I would see him mining, and I would like, okay, they got balls. They're out here. Somebody's gonna kill him, not me.
Oh man, I've always hit them. It's gotten me in trouble a few times because, you know, if you're in a big alliance, they don't really like you to hit Hunt. But I would always do it if it was within our OE, of course. Yeah, we're all pretty cool with each other. They wouldn't go and kill my whole alliance because I got one of their miners OPC or something.
God, they used to be very violent. They're very, very vengeful. Core at the center of that alliance.
They kind of are still, but I think they've got a lot of food on their plate at the moment.
Well, I'm going to give you kind of the floor. What's the rumors going around? What's the scuttlebutt, if you will, on the server right now? Yeah, and I said scuttlebutt. I just said scuttlebutt.
I don't know what that even means. Is that like a?
It's like the. Yeah, it's kind of what's going on out there. You know, what are the rumors around this?
I guess one of the big ones kind of involving me is that my creation of my leaving ink and creation of Repo was kind of this big masterminded plan of bringing about like a server war. You know, that Damien's like still, he's my boss and he's telling me to do all this stuff to, you know, cause chaos.
Oh, they're accusing you of doing what Vulcan did.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, what he was accused of doing.
Yeah, so the thing with Vulcan is, I think it was like a week after I dropped, he dropped and immediately put crosshairs on like probably half a dozen alliances and just started hitting them all for 2 weeks and then just hopped back into EMC. And that's what started that big war that's going on right now.
I was told that was not...
putting the blame on me.
Yeah, I was told that was not authorized by leadership in EMC.
Yeah, I don't know if it was or not. I feel like if it wasn't authorized, then they might not have gotten back in. But I always knew right from the start that he was going back as soon as he dropped tags. I mean, that's kind of a big change to make.
That was kind of a big deal. You know, like I see these little things on certain Discord servers that I have eyes in, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, the Server 17 Discord has been pretty active since all this started. I love it.
I need to get on there. I'm not on there. I get on there occasionally, and then I'm like, nah, these guys are douches. I'm out. You know,
maybe I'll post some things to in there.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find a link. I'm sure I have a link somewhere. But you get in there, and everybody's all like salt chat or salty chat or whatever.
Oh, that's my favorite channel.
Yeah, it was like people are so crazy. It's. I'm on all kinds of Discord servers. It's too much. It's too many notifications.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I probably got like 30 or 40 servers I'm in. But I play other games too, so I've got to turn off notifications for a bunch of those.
Yeah,
it's probably like 50% Star Trek.
Yeah, so many different games. I mean, I'm on some Discord servers for. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you ever played like card games like Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or things like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to be super into Magic the Gathering.
Well, let me tell you, if you're interested, this is like a little plug for Rev Deuce. He created his own card game, and I think it's going for sale like very soon, the next few days. But he's created his own stuff. He paired up with an awesome artist, created the rules, and I didn't play those games. So I don't know, but I'm getting his game because I want to try it, you know, and just kind of grow with him. But if you're into that, if you'd be interested, go to his Discord server and check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that because I do follow him on off, but yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
It sounds like it'd definitely be right up my alley.
Oh, it's the art is awesome. I like art, so just seeing that, and then now I follow.
Is it like,
go ahead.
Is it Star Trek themed, or is it
No,
totally original?
No, it's like Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons kind of a feel.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, some of those character names. Come on, Rev. Come on, like
I can only imagine. He's got a good sense of humor.
yeah, he's tying some stuff in there, and you gotta pay attention. But you'll catch it if you'll catch some of these names. But yeah, man, check it out. I think you'd really like it if you like that genre of gaming.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, I'm into card games, RPGs, strategy games, all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'll put this to you. Is there anything you want to know about me? Any questions for the old dog that doesn't play anymore?
That's a hard one because I know we've talked in game a few times, but I don't know too much about you, to be honest. Is there anything you think I should know about you?
I'm really nice. I'm super cool. I don't have superpowers. I'm married to a super hot chick. And
oh yeah, you were telling me she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Congrats on that, man.
Thanks. It's so crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, and got some ultrasounds and stuff going on, sonogram things, and it's just so cool. I'm old, by the way. I'm really old. So
I'm like opposite end of the spectrum, probably.
I think you're really young. I mean, if you were in high school or junior high in 2013, but hey, you know what? It takes all ages to play this game. So
yeah, I'll be 24 in about 2 weeks here.
Wow, man. Do you know when I was 24? Let me think here. I was 24 in 1999.
Okay, so you're probably just a little bit older than my dad.
Yeah, so, you know.
He was born in 77.
Yeah, I was born in 75, so that's
okay.
Isn't that crazy? That's so cool.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I've got guys in Inc. that are in their 60s or 70s, and we get along just great. That's one of my favorite things about this game, too.
Dude, there's a lot of 60-something-year-old guys playing this game that watch the old show. Well, I'm going to ask you this last question. This is the big question that everybody gets. If you died today, how would you like to be remembered?
Yeah, it is kind of hard to think about being as young as I am. It's not something that I haven't had enough experience to think about what I want to be remembered for, what kind of legacy I want to have going forward. But I think one thing, and I guess it would kind of apply to the game too, like if I just suddenly disappeared, I'd want to be remembered for just doing what I love no matter what. Like being the guy that'll just keep doing, like no matter what obstacles are in my way. You know, I just want to try doing what I love all the time.
Well, SolidShadow, thanks for chilling with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
She eyes me like a Pisces when I am weak.